feel him at her back, probably wearing that self-satisfied smirk he always seemed to have on his face. Unfortunately, it didn't make him any less attractive. If she concentrated, she could almost catch a whiff of the expensive cologne he favored. Nothing for it. She had to face the music. She took a fortifying breath and spun on her stool, her heart jumping into her throat in a seriously annoying way. Some things never changed, and apparently her reaction to this particular man was one of them. It didn't help that he looked really good. His hair was shorn close to his head in the traditional Marine style, but it was all too easy to picture the way it curled when he let too long go between haircuts. Every time she went back to New York after visiting home, she'd half convinced herself that his dark brown eyes couldn't possibly be as soulful as she remembered. And every time she was wrong. And his mouth. Erin flushed and reached for her beer again. She had first-hand knowledge of just how devastating that mouth could be, both in and out of the bedroom. Stop it. Stop it right now. The last thing she had the energy to do was dredge up the attitude necessary to deal with Warren, but she tried anyway. Hey, yourself. Nice comeback. He dropped onto the stool next to her. That was another thing she almost always managed to forget. How damn aggravating the man could be. 5 seconds in his presence, and she was transported back to when she was a hot-headed 19-year-old with more hormones than sense, and the one wild summer they'd spent together. Erin glared. Find another seat. This one is taken. By your imaginary friend? He nodded at Gina. You've been sitting alone for half an hour with no one in sight. If he's not here by now, he's not coming. He'd been here the entire time, watching her. How did I miss him? Her face went hot enough to scald. It was bad enough knowing she'd been stood up. It was 1,000 times worse to know that he had witnessed it. You're unbelievable. I'm waiting for Marcy. Liar. She and Erin are out of town until tomorrow. He rubbed a hand over his mouth, his dark eyes shining with amusement. Which is a damn good thing, because your brother still hasn't gotten over his love of giving me speeding tickets after my granddad set Marcy and I up a while back. Erin looked away, fighting the urge to smile. Marcy had told her about that, and she'd be lying if she said it didn't make her day a little bit brighter to know that her brother went out of his way to shit on Warren's day when he could. You should consider yourself lucky. If he knew half of the stuff you pulled with me when we first met, he'd kill you. But her brother didn't know. No one knew. Not even her best friend, Marcy. The forbidden and secret aspect of their relationship, if it could be called that, had been part of the attraction back then. Now it just felt stupid. No, he wouldn't. He accepted the beer Gina set in front of him with a smile. He might whoop your ass for getting involved with me, but Erin is too honorable to stoop to something like murder for his rebellious mini-me. Mini-me. One of the many hated nicknames that she'd never been able to escape because of her parents' questionable taste in naming their son and daughter versions of the same damn name. There was no excuse for that kind of lunacy. The best she could tell, her mother had insisted they name their second child Erin out of sheer stubbornness. Pregnancy-related hormones did weird things to the brain. She'd seen that well enough when Marcy was knocked up, and her mother had never met a mistake she was willing to admit to. So, despite her father's pleading, she'd refused to change the initial name on the birth certificate. Which is how Erin and Erin came to be. The town took it in stride like it did most of the locals' quirks, and everyone and their dog had taken to fondly calling Erin some variation of Mini-Me, as if she weren't her own entity. She'd half thought that it would change after Erin graduated and went off to join the army. She should have known better. Just like she should have known that engaging Warren in any type of conversation was a mistake. It ended only one of two ways, neither of which she had the wherewithal to deal with. Erin finished off her beer. As fun as this has been, I'm leaving. She carefully counted out her last few $5 bills and set them on the counter next to her beer. I am so broke.